Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, began each day with a practice that seems almost pessimistic at first hearing. Before rising from bed, before facing the demands of empire, he would deliberately imagine the worst humanity has to offer. In Book 2 of his Meditations, Private Notes Never Meant for Publication, he writes, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." This is not cynicism. This is preparation. This is a precise philosophical exercise designed to accomplish something specific, to prepare your rational faculty before it encounters the chaos of experience, to set your mind in order before the world attempts to disorder it. The Stoics understood something that modern life often forgets: you don't stumble into your day and hope for the best. You don't react to whatever comes and trust you'll respond virtuously. You prepare. Deliberately. Systematically. Every morning. This morning practice, combined with its evening counterpart, the examination of conscience, forms the framework for Stoic living. Not as routine in the modern sense of habit, but as ascesis, spiritual training, the deliberate discipline of the rational soul. Let me explain what Marcus actually practiced, why he practiced it, and how this ancient discipline remains the foundation for living philosophically. The philosophical purpose. First, understand why morning preparation matters philosophically. The Stoics taught that your rational faculty, your hegemonikon, your ruling center, is like a fortress. It can be maintained in good order or allowed to fall into chaos. And the critical moment is the beginning of the day, when you're transitioning from sleep to waking engagement with the world. In sleep, reason is dormant. You're not making judgments, not exercising virtue, not maintaining conscious control of your faculty of assent. You're in a state of non-rational consciousness. Waking is the moment of transition. And in that moment, you have a choice: let the day happen to you, or prepare yourself for the day. Most people do the former. They wake reactively. They check their phone immediately, absorbing impressions before their reason is fully engaged. They let concerns flood in without examination. They begin responding to demands before they've established their philosophical ground. This is beginning the day in disorder. Your rational faculty is overwhelmed before it's prepared. You're reacting before you've remembered your principles. You're being pulled by external demands before you've established internal order. Marcus understood this danger. He writes, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work, as a human being." The morning practice is about establishing your identity as a rational being before you engage with particular circumstances. It's about remembering what you are, a fragment of divine reason, before you encounter what happens to you. The actual practice, preparing for difficulty. Marcus's morning meditation has two primary components. The first is preparing for the difficulty of human interaction. He continues his morning reflection: they are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good, and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own, not of the same blood or birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share of the divine. Notice what he's doing. He's not pretending people will be wonderful. He's assuming they'll be difficult. But he's preparing his judgment about this difficulty. When someone is meddling, their pre-established judgment is, they can't distinguish good from evil. They're acting from confusion, not malice. This prevents the reactive judgment: they're attacking me. They're wrong. I should be angry. When someone is ungrateful, his preparation means he recognizes, they don't understand what actually benefits them. They're suffering from false judgment. This prevents, they owe me. They should appreciate me. I'm justified in resentment. When someone is arrogant, dishonest, jealous, surly, for each, he's prepared his philosophical response in advance. Not his behavioral response, that will depend on circumstances, but his internal judgment, his interpretation, his relationship to the event. This is crucial. The Stoics didn't control events. They control judgments about events. And the morning practice establishes those judgments before the events occur. Epictetus taught the same principle: rehearse your responses. When you encounter difficulties, remember, you prepared for this. You knew this might happen. You decided in advance how you would interpret it. The second component, remembering your purpose. The second element of Marcus's morning practice is remembering why you're alive, what your nature as a rational being requires. He writes, "What am I to do? This is what I was born to do, to work, as an ox or a bee or any other creature does the work it was made for." This is not about productivity in the modern sense. This is about function, about fulfilling your natural purpose. The ox pulls the plow because that's its nature. The bee makes honey because that's its nature. The human being exercises reason and virtue because that's human nature. Marcus is reminding himself before the day begins, I exist for a purpose. That purpose is not comfort or pleasure or avoiding difficulty. That purpose is acting according to reason, exercising virtue, contributing to the common good. This reframes everything that follows. The difficult meeting is not an obstacle to your day. It's the arena for your purpose. The irritating person is not a distraction from your life, they're the opportunity to practice patience, understanding, and appropriate response. He continues, so the human works. And so I should push myself out of bed and go to work, as a human being. The morning preparation is about establishing this understanding. What follows is not an interruption. What follows is life itself. The day's challenges are not keeping you from living. They are the material of living. The discipline of assent. A third element of morning practice involves preparing your faculty of assent, your power to grant or withhold agreement with impressions. Throughout the day, impressions will arrive. This is good, I must have it. This is bad, I must avoid it. This is insulting, I must respond with anger. This is frightening, I must panic. The untrained mind grants assent automatically. The impression arrives and immediately produces a reaction. There's no gap between stimulus and response. The morning practice creates that gap. By rehearsing beforehand, by establishing your philosophical ground, you create space between impression and judgment. Marcus writes in his evening reflections, describing what the morning preparation makes possible, between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. The morning is when you establish the presence of that space. You remind yourself, impressions will arrive. I will pause. I will examine them. I will grant or withhold assent according to reason, not according to immediate reaction. Epictetus practiced this explicitly. He taught students to greet each impression with, "You are but an impression, and not at all the thing you appear to be." This is morning preparation. Establishing the habit of examination before the impressions arrive. Remembering impermanence. Another element Marcus included was remembering mortality, both his own and others. He writes, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This is not morbid. This is calibrating. When you remember that this day might be your last, trivial concerns lose their grip. Petty resentments dissolve. What matters becomes clear. You won't waste time on what doesn't matter if you remember that time is limited. You won't postpone important conversations if you recognize there might not be another chance. You won't let small irritations disturb you if you remember these moments are precious and finite. This is memento mori as morning practice. Remember you will die, therefore live this day as if it matters, because it does. Similarly, remembering others' mortality changes how you relate to them. The person who irritates you, they're mortal too. This might be the last time you interact with them. How do you want to have treated them? Marcus notes, when you have trouble getting out of bed, remember that you've been made by nature for this purpose, to work with others. The morning preparation includes recognizing your interconnection with other mortal beings, all of you briefly alive, all of you struggling with limited understanding, all of you deserving patience and goodwill. Establishing independence from externals. A critical element of morning practice is remembering what's actually yours and what's not. Marcus writes, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I am rising to do the work of a human being. What do I have to complain of, if I am going to do what I was born for?" He's establishing before the day begins, the day's events are not fundamentally about comfort or success in the external sense. They're about whether you fulfill your nature as a rational being. The meeting might go badly. The project might fail. The person might reject you. These are externals, outcomes you don't fully control. What you do control: did you prepare appropriately? Did you speak truthfully? Did you act with integrity? Did you maintain your character regardless of outcomes? The morning practice establishes this distinction so that when outcomes don't go as hoped, you're not destroyed. You knew beforehand that outcomes weren't the point. Character was the point. The practice today. So what does this actually look like as a practice? Before you rise, before you check your phone, before you engage with demands, pause. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. However long you need. First, anticipate difficulty. Not pessimistically, but realistically. You will encounter people who are confused, who act from poor judgment, who may be difficult or unkind. Prepare your interpretation now. They're doing the best they can with the understanding they have. They're suffering from false judgments about what's good. They're human, like you, struggling with limited wisdom. Second, remember your purpose. You're not here for comfort or ease. You're here to act according to reason, to exercise virtue, to fulfill your nature as a rational being. Everything that happens today is material for that purpose. Third, establish independence. Outcomes are not yours to control. Only your character, your effort, your virtue is yours. Prepare to maintain these regardless of results. Fourth, remember mortality. This day is limited. These hours are unrepeatable. The people you'll encounter are mortal. Don't waste this day on what doesn't matter. Don't take presents for granted. Fifth, consciously engage your faculty of assent. Remind yourself, impressions will arrive. You will examine them before reacting. You will maintain the space between stimulus and response. The evening counterpart. But the morning practice is incomplete without its evening counterpart, what Seneca called the examination of conscience. Marcus practiced this nightly. Before sleep, he would review the day. What did I do well? Where did I fail? How did I respond to difficulty? Where did I let impressions control me rather than examining them? Seneca describes his own version. When the light has been removed and my wife has become silent, I examine my entire day and measure my deeds and words. I conceal nothing from myself, I pass nothing by. This is not self-punishment. This is learning. You're training your rational faculty by observing where it functioned well and where it didn't. The evening review makes the morning preparation more effective. Because each morning, you're not just preparing generally, you're preparing with yesterday's lessons in mind. You know your weak points. You know where you tend to fail. You can prepare more specifically. This creates a cycle: morning preparation, daily practice, evening review. Morning preparation, daily practice, evening review. Over time, the preparation becomes more precise, the practice more skillful, the review more honest. The transformation. What does this practice actually accomplish? Not immediately, but over time. You shift from reactive to proactive. Instead of being tossed by events, you're prepared for them. Instead of being surprised by difficulty, you anticipated it. Instead of losing your center when challenged, you maintain it because you established it before the challenges arrived. You shift from external focus to internal focus. Instead of measuring your day by outcomes, did I get what I wanted? You measure by character, did I act with virtue? You shift from fragmentation to integration. Instead of being one person at dawn and another by noon, scattered by circumstance, you maintain philosophical consistency because you established your ground before engaging. Marcus discovered that empire could be governed by someone who prepared their mind each morning. Not governed perfectly, he faced plague, war, betrayal, loss. But governed philosophically, with maintained character, with preserved dignity, with virtue intact despite circumstances. The accessibility. This practice requires no special conditions. You don't need a quiet room or perfect circumstances. You need only the willingness to pause before engaging, to prepare before reacting, to establish order before encountering chaos. Marcus practiced this in military camps, surrounded by war. In palaces, surrounded by politics. Everywhere his duties took him, this practice remained available. It remains available now. You can practice this tomorrow morning. Before rising, before checking devices, before engaging demands, pause. Prepare. Remember what you are. Anticipate what might come. Establish how you'll interpret it. The Stoics understood what modern life often forgets: the day doesn't just happen to you. You prepare for the day. You establish your philosophical ground. You are ready with your rational faculty. You remember your principles before you need them. Marcus Aurelius wrote his morning meditation not for posterity but for himself, a daily reminder of how to live. He knew that without this preparation, he would be overwhelmed. The demands of empire, the difficulty of people, the chaos of circumstance, these would disorder him unless he ordered himself first. The same is true for you. Without preparation, the day will carry you. With preparation, you can meet the day from stable ground. This is the Stoic morning practice. Not a productivity technique, but a philosophical discipline. Not optimization, but preparation of the soul. Not achieving more, but being more fully yourself, rational, virtuous, prepared, regardless of what comes. Begin tomorrow. Before rising, pause. Remember, people will be difficult. I am here to act according to reason. Outcomes are not mine. This day is limited. I will examine impressions before granting them power. This is how Marcus began each day. This is how he maintained himself through circumstances that would have broken an unprepared mind. This is how you can face your day, not hoping to avoid difficulty, but prepared to meet it philosophically. Not reactive, but grounded. Not scattered, but integrated. The morning practice is the foundation. Everything else builds on this. Without it, you're vulnerable to every impression, every circumstance, every external demand. With it, you're prepared. Ready. Philosophically armed for whatever comes. This is the Stoic way. Prepare your mind before facing the day. Everything depends on this.